But other than that, this thing is pretty much ready to rock. Hey, it didn't blow up already. Good job, buddy. You get a gold star. Ready? I'm ready. Oh, come on! Woo! Yes! Yes! All right, so we're getting all the engine stuff shipped out. I was away for power tour, so we're getting all this stuff shipped out now. We have the new decals. They're printed. Came out absolutely awesome. It's kind of hard to show behind this, but you can see the design. I'll throw it up on the screen. But yeah, tons of orders. So getting all those knocked out right now. You can see this is just one box that we did. Now we're moving to the next one. So I gotta ship all these. So I'll print these labels and then just watch how entertaining this is. Okay, do that. I hit print and I come over here and this thing's gonna literally sit here and do this. For like a solid 2 minutes, this thing's gonna sit here and print. Nevertheless, needless to say, very successful drops. I really do appreciate you guys. There is gonna be a restock on this stuff, so I don't know if it's at the time of this upload or not, but make sure you go down to 909speedcompany.com if you do want to support me in the builds. This is what we do. So I come home from a big trip or working on something or building a car, and I sit here and I ship all you guys' orders out. So I'm the one that packs and ships them. I have a bunch of my buddies come out and they all help me out. It's locally designed, locally manufactured, locally shipped. So none of this stuff's overseas. It supports American businesses and it supports me. So if you guys do want to support me, head out in the description. I'll have a link down there. And grab yourself something like a sticker. You know, we have all sorts of different decals and stuff like that. And I think in the near future, I'm going to be doing like a buy two, get one free sale or whatever. And just the amount of different, you know, styles and products. And we do have our OG shirt as well as like hats and stuff like that. So if you guys want to get yourself like a snapback, we do have that as well. But yeah, you can see this is just going to keep going. So we just did this one. And so we're going to do the next one. This was basically all the orders that I'm catching up from Power Tour. So a week's worth of orders all in one shot. I'm going to try to get all of them out today, but there's like a pretty good amount of them. So I'm going to do my best. We're trying over here. Hi, nice seeing you here. My name's Craig. I like to break engines. And on this episode, hopefully we're gonna finish this thing and actually get it on the dyno and it might live and survive, hopefully, maybe, finally, I don't know. But if you haven't seen, this is my 1971 F100 behind me. I don't know why, it's nothing to do with the way I drive it ever, but for whatever reason, I broke engines in the past a couple times. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the way that I was driven. No way at all. It just drives like a normal truck. It's a shop truck, right? But either way, that's led us to this point where we now have this fully built 1971 date-coded block, stock crank 302. So this is basically as far as you can go with still utilizing a stock crankshaft and a stock block. That was two things that I wanted to keep. This is a very good 28-ounce balanced rotating assembly, and it's full of SCAT rods, custom RaceTec pistons, AFR cylinder heads, AFR intake, a very aggressive Anderson N91 camshaft. This thing has a bunch of amazing Holley, Meziere, as well as precision oil pump goodies throughout the engine. And we're gonna top it all off with an ICE ignition system once we get this thing going. So in this video, we're gonna finish putting the ignition system in it. We do need to put all of our rockers still on and our push rods in and get the valve train set. We're also, maybe, hopefully by the end of this video, we might have a new set of valve covers on this thing, but don't hold me to it. We are gonna be changing our original gold, so it's gonna be very excited. I can't wait to show you guys what I have for it. But nevertheless, let's hop into finishing this thing so we can get it in that, because this weekend we're going to the F100 and Western Nationals in Anaheim, and that's gonna be there whether it runs or not. So it's Tuesday, and that has to be done Friday, so let's get into it. Now I know what you guys are thinking, Craig, why in the world would you be putting another 8.2 deck motor in this truck if you've broken it time and time again? Isn't it time to go to a 9.5 deck? And as true as that might be, I really do want to keep this truck as original as I can. You know, it's an original 302 3-speed truck. I did kind of go out of my comfort zone putting the 5-speed in it. You know, I really did like that 3-speed on the column. But man, dude, the 8.2 deck is just such a great motor. I just had to keep it in. But yeah, that's the reason. All right, guys, let's dive into this. So this is pretty much where we left off last time. So I don't know how well you could probably be able to see it, but I measured this out. A 6.4 push rod was where we landed on this thing. I think a 6.35 was what's in the Fox body, so it kind of makes sense. So we do have a full set of these push rods. These are, I believe, just Engine Pro, but they are a 4130 chromoly push rod, which is what I wanted. And on top of that, we do have a comp lightweight rocker with a poly lock. So we'll go ahead and just basically roll this thing over. I've done this a million times, but I'll walk you through it if you haven't seen it already. I do think I have a couple other videos showing how I do this, but basically we'll get ourselves to the point of 0 lash if it's at full dwell. And then right when you feel a little bit of pressure on that, we're gonna give it a half turn and then lock the poly lock down, and that will set that lifter. So I'm gonna do that on all 16 of these, and then those will be done. And the only thing we'll have to do is set top dead center again, drop our distributor in, which I should have done actually before I put the heads on, but whatever. And then line our timing mark up, and then I'm gonna throw some oil and prime this thing because I do have a priming tool. So yeah, a couple things I do need to do, but let's get after it. right, oh wow, that's really zoomed in. Oh, nope, zoomed in even more. All right, there we go, a little bit better. So I got all the valve train done yesterday, so you can see everything's lashed, still looks good. Everything's pretty much torqued and set, ready to rock. So I got my dipstick because the only thing really holding this thing in is a little bit of RTVA. I need to get one that uses this bolt right here, or one of the bolts, so it can be stationary, but it's always just kind of sat like that, so that's just how it's gonna sit. But either way, this is all good. So we're throwing the valve cover gaskets on. I talked with Ethan at JBA. I was like, hey, should I put this oil in it? Should I put this in it? Should I put the carburetor on it? Should I put the pulley system on it? This is gonna be about as bare bones as it is. It doesn't need any sort of pulleys for the water pump because the water pump's electronic, so we can just hook that to a battery as well, and the whole thing will be running off a battery. So we won't really need any sort of other pieces here, and it's not fuel injected, so we don't need that either. It's just a carburetor, so it's simple. So that's kind of nice. And we're gonna run straight 30 weight to break the thing in at JBA. He said he'd run that oil, so we're just gonna do that, and we're gonna pour it in through here, prime it through here, so I can't put a distributor in either. So I guess at this point the motor's basically done. This is how you see it. We'll go to the dyno like this, we'll hook it up, we'll basically put all the pieces on at the dyno, we'll go ahead and start from there. So I won't need to run any of the pulleys right now, but we'll at least get the thing broke in. I don't know if we'll just plug these off or loop these or whatever, but either way, this thing should sound pretty good. I do need to go get some spark plugs. That's one thing I do need to do. I haven't done that yet. But other than that, this thing is pretty much ready to rock. So I'm excited. So I'm also super nervous. I've never engine dynoed any engine before, as you guys have probably noticed. So this is my first time ever doing anything dyno related. I've never been on a chassis dyno. I've never been on an engine dyno. So this truck will see both this time. That was one thing that was very imperative to me, was making sure that these saw dyno time to make sure the tune is adequate. So we will have an AFR gauge on this thing the entire time, so we'll be able to jet it if we need to. We're gonna fully tune this engine and break this engine in on the dyno today. So when it comes back, this engine's turnkey ready to go. So thanks to the guys over at JBA. They're helping us out with this mega this time, so a massive shout out to them. With that being said, let's go ahead and get this thing in the back of the truck, head down to JBA. Alright guys, we are ready to go turn this thing on the dyno. I've never done a dyno run before, but I'm excited. So I got this thing strapped in a way to where it doesn't touch any part of the bed, because I really don't want this hitting this. So yeah, I'll see you guys down at the dyno. It should be fun. Alrighty. That's pretty neat. I need one of these. You want me to drive forward? Yeah, drive forward. That's probably easier, huh? Yeah. Oh yeah, good old 351. Oh no, my door. Alright, we're good. Alright guys, we just got down to JBA Speed Shop, and if you didn't know, they do have a full chassis dyno as well as an engine dyno. So if you go over here, there's a full dyno tuning area, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So Ethan's going ahead and hooking this thing up on their run stand, so it's kind of like a big dolly they put mount this thing up on, and then from there we'll be able to hook basically everything around the dyno up to this kind of cart thing, which is kind of neat. So I've never actually gone through this process. I've never dynoed an engine, so the whole thing's new to me, and I'm going to kind of experience it firsthand, which is kind of cool. So hopefully you do well.
Always use lubrication and protection.
Whoa, that was dirty.
Sliding it. Oh.
Whoa. Alright, getting it primed up. Putting some straight 30 weight in it. So what's your benefit of that 30 weight versus like 2050 or at least on initial break-in? Instead of running a traditional 1030, 1040.
I don't know the true science, whether or not it works or not. Old machinist that works here, he likes a straight weight because it's, you know, more consistent.
It's true, yeah.
It doesn't change, it doesn't vary, like depending on weather. 30 weight's gonna be 30 weight no matter what.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just a consistent variable. Pretty much just a VR1. You can't buy this stuff in like O'Reilly's. This is like you'd have to order it, but you can see it's straight 30. There's no 10, whatever. So it's, at least we know that's consistent, but.
We're in a pretty controlled state. I mean, this isn't like a cold start in the morning in like Wisconsin or something.
Yeah.
So.
Should be pretty good. Get her all lubed up.
This is in honor of Fry Burger.
Oh god, you spill a drop, man, I swear. Oh, come on, you little baby pour. You gotta be a man if you're gonna do it. Oh. Oh. Did you spill?
No.
No, you spilled.
We're gonna go to 32.
Oh, so you just start. So you just set it initially at what you think. So you said all the small blocks you do, you start at 32 and go from there.
Yeah, I mean I've never seen a small block like less than 32 degrees total.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's pretty safe timing, like measurement. So I usually start at 32 total and make a pull at 32 once it's broken in. And then I experiment. Sometimes I go to 36 and see how it reacts. And then if it likes it, then I'll go up to 38. And if it doesn't like it, I'll go back to 36. And then maybe I'll try 34. It's just testing.
Yeah, sweet. Alright, never know, might want 38 degrees, we'll see.
Engines with like iron heads and big domes, like a lot of timing. But the more efficient your combustion chamber is, the less timing it needs.
Yeah, these AFRs are probably as efficient as you can physically get, so we'll see how they do. But alright, let's get this thing ready, fire it up. Alright, so we're getting it all hooked up. We have the ICE ignition system. We're getting everything pretty much set up. So you can fully select the curves, how many degrees, what RPM it starts and ends at. Right now on the dyno, you can see we're gonna 00 this thing and just lock it out. We might play with it later, but for right now, we just need to get this thing broke in. So you can see the ICE ignition system. We do still need to make wires. We just have dyno wires on it, dyno headers, a lot of dyno parts on it, but the Meziere water pump, the ICE ignition, as well as their box, which took us literally just 5 minutes to hook up. So we have our tack wire, as well as the 2-step arm wire, just kind of hanging over there for right now. And we should be able to just basically hook 12 volts up to this thing, which we have a little coil. Just kind of sitting over here for right now. Because this is normally, they have a full dyno setup, but for right now we're going to use the ICE stuff because this is the setup we're going to be running. So as well as with this carburetor, this is the Quick Fuel 750 we're going to be running as well. So trying to utilize as many parts that we're actually using on the engine right now. So that's kind of the whole thing. But we do have dual AFRs. We'll be able to see cylinder temp on every single cylinder and pretty much do everything right and check it all out. So it should be pretty cool. So we're going to lock everything out, get our initial timing set, and go and fire this thing out and see what it'll do. So it should be fun. Whoa, it says signal. I don't know what that means. I can't read.
That means I probably hooked it up right.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. What a concept. Didn't blow up already. Good job, buddy. You get a gold star.
Horsepower number shot up pretty fast.
This can will probably make power.
It'll make power up to 7. That's what it's supposed to. There you go. So I made 409 horsepower at 5,800 RPM.
So far.
So far, yeah, on the first pull. That's pretty good.
It is very
It's
good.
still got a lot to grow at
And
least.
this is your airfield ratio, so
Yeah, it's
that's probably more like 420 right now.
yeah, it's pig ridge.
So there's your first dyno sheet ever.
I know, I like that. I'm gonna frame that. It didn't blow up.
What did I say? It has to be 420. Yeah, this is pretty much perfect. Can't get better than that.
So now we can just go up in RPM and timing, right?
Yep.
Sweet. Alright guys, so second pull done. So this thing made 424 horsepower and 384 foot-pounds at 5,800 RPM. It's got a long ways to go, but everything looks good.
Is that 65? Sweet. Alright, we're gonna go to 67.
67.
That was 68.
Okay.
But it did hit 7,000 because whenever you
lifted.
dyno pull, it goes like 204 RPM.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready for this?
I'm ready.
489.
Oh yeah, baby!
Still climbing.
Still climbing. So you think, was I right? You think it's gonna make 500?
It might make like, I thought it was gonna make 480 or something.
That was his guess. He thought it was gonna make, what was it, 480, 45?
Well, I said in the 480s.
Yeah, so already we're passing him. I said 500. Do you think it was gonna make that?
I said at least 3.
68.
Well, you win.
I think it's gonna make power to 7.
That's basically 500. It's close enough for me. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this
Yeah!
exactly. Ready?
I'm ready. Ah.
Probably a little hot.
Yeah, that's true. We just did, what, 3 back to back?
Yeah.
I'm ready. Oh, come on!
It was still climbing, 73?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Alright. 73.
my goodness, that's 7,300 RPM. It made 507 horsepower. All right, guys. So that thing has the front timing cover seal thing is spraying oil everywhere, but that's okay. Because this thing just made 507 horsepower at 7,200 RPM.
He's a screamer, man.
With a stock crankshaft in it. I don't think we could have gotten any better. I wanted 7,000 RPM. I wanted 500 horsepower with a stock crankshaft. That was the goal, and it did that. And it's at 36 degrees of timing. It could probably go a little more, but there's no point. It works perfectly.
You know why I made 507?
Because you were doing it.
No, it's because of salad bowl.
Oh, it's a salad bowl.
It's a salad bowl.
We're gonna have to keep the salad bowl on there.
Yeah, no filter. Just leave that on there.
I agree.
Salad bowl and a boom tube.
Salad bowl and boom tubes. This thing's gonna sound so awesome through the X-Pipe and the black coat exhaust. I cannot wait to get this thing back to the shop. We are going to the F100 Western Nationals this Saturday, so if you're in SoCal, definitely check it out. And with that being said, I hope you guys are going on to enjoy today's video. Make sure you grab our t-shirt. I don't know if you can see it if I'm in frame at all, but this is the t-shirt that we designed for this engine. Small block killer. If you see yourself as a small block killer, you can check it out on my website. With that being said, I hope you guys did go and enjoy this video. This was a ton of work. Months and months of work and product planning. I wanted to thank Ice Ignition, as well as Holley, AFR, Precision Oiling Pumps, Meziere with electric water pump on this thing, RaceTec pistons, SCAT Crankshaft for the rods. And I want to give a massive thank you to Ethan for doing all my machine work on this thing. If you guys need a good machine shop in anywhere SoCal, I would go across state borders if you're in Arizona to work with this guy. He did all the machine work on this. He balanced this thing. He made everything to where when I put this thing together, we slapped it on the dyno and made over 500 horsepower with an 8.2 deck 302. I don't think you can get much better than that. So JBA Machine Shop, JBA Engine Dyno, and this thing will be on the rollers here very, very soon. And this thing's pretty much broke in.
Yeah, she's ready to go.
She's ready to go.
Metric rings, you're good to go. We loaded it up.
Yep. So
definitely over 30 minutes of load.
Yeah,
it's like 10 pulls probably.
Yeah, so this thing has, these rings are fully seated. They are a 1.5 to 3 mil ring. They're small, so they don't need nearly as much break-in time as a regular ring. So yeah, I'm stoked. We got a couple things. Obviously the front main, is whatever that oil seal is, I guess not working. It was, but I guess it's not anymore. So that's the only thing I gotta fix. I'm good. Before I forget, 91 octane, no additives. This is straight pump gas. That's the one thing I must put in this video. So this is a pump gas, 91, not 93, and at 36 degrees of timing made 507 horsepower. Can't complain.
Small block Fords.
Small block Fords, baby. Let's go. But yeah, go grab your shirts, 909speedcompany.com. Support me in the builds. I'll see you guys in the next video where we get this thing in the F100 and finally make my F100 run. See you guys.